Hey guys, what's up? I just completed my new build, which has a GTX 970 and an Intel i7 4790K. In every single town I did this, I was on max settings, which would be very high. I did this test in all towns, except for one little open area to get a general idea of how much FPS you would get in like the woods or a field or like the Northwest Airfield, something that's got a little less stuff you have to render. So other than that, this test is just in cities and all that, and I hope this gives you guys a better idea of how much FPS you would get in DayZ with these specs. So right now I'm in the town of Prigorki. I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's the town in between Electro and Cherno that's just past that little rocky mountain. Some people call it Skyrim Mountain, I call it Goloski Mountain. And I'm getting around an average of like 30 to like 35 FPS. It doesn't really drop under 30. Every now and then it will just have a little spike and drop under to like 27, but then immediately go straight back up to like 30. This is around how much FPS you'd be getting in like any kind of village or like really small town, kind of like Cami or any other town similar to its size. Right now I'm just outside of Cherno. While you have the entire town in your frame, you're gonna get around 20 to like 25 FPS, nothing more or anything less than that. That's just kind of how it is. When you get in the town, it's even worse. Also, while I was in the police station, I found this G19, which is brand new to the game. Couldn't find a mag, which is weird because that's usually what you find, but it was the G18 and I saw a CR75 mag. And I just basically emptied it. And I just decided to shoot at some zombies. I also saw the new car. This is the first time I actually saw the car while doing this test. I just kind of wanted to take a look at it. Right now I'm getting around 20 to like 30 FPS. It really just depends where you're looking. And also I noticed a weird glitch near the center of Cherno. That little like I don't even know what to call it. You'll see it here in a second. It was glitched. It was stacked. I don't know if this had to contribute to lower FPS or not. But I mean, I could imagine that it probably does knock your FPS a little lower than what it usually would have been. Then if it wasn't there, because your computer has to render more textures of it, of a floating building. But other than that, it wouldn't make you lose too much FPS. But this is just in the, also this is near the center, getting around 25 to 30 FPS. Right here, I'm just outside of Berezino. Over there towards the right on the shore would be Berezino. I just saw this little place next to where I spawned in this private server. I figured it'd be kind of cool to go in here because this is about how much FPS you'd get in like a thick forest or something like that. Or also how much FPS you'd get at like a military base or the airfield. So I just thought this would kind of be cool to add in so you guys could see how much FPS you'd get in those kind of situations, because I didn't really feel like running into the woods or anything because it would be kind of useless. But I just saw this and it kind of came up to my mind. I was like, might as well add it in so you guys can get an idea of how much more FPS you get outside of towns than when you're in towns. It's a huge difference of how much FPS you gain or lose when you're in those kind of places. And here's Berezino, probably the most laggiest town in DayZ at the moment. After some of the updates of them adding so much stuff into the game, like these train stations and everything. Literally, the deeper you go into the town, the more FPS you lose. I've dropped in this test down to like 15 frames. It was crazy. Electro, you get about the same amount of frames as you do in Cherno. This is way lower than that. In Cherno, I dropped down to like maybe 23 frames for a split second, then went back up to like 27 or something. Here, 20 to like 15 is probably your average if you're looking into the town. It was just crazy. Berezino, unless you have some crazy super computer, definitely is a town you want to stay out of unless you're playing on low graphics. But everything else, I would consider playable on high, on ultra graphics. I wouldn't play usually on ultra graphics. I would usually play on normal / high settings, because anything else than that If I don't really like getting anything lower than 30 FPS, and on medium settings like that will keep you above 30 FPS most of the time in Electro, Cherno, or any of those majorly popular towns. I hope this test gives you guys a better idea of how much FPS you'd get inside of towns with the GTX 970 and i7-47K. Keep in mind that this game is majorly CPU intensive, so a 960 would probably be fairly close in FPS as a 970 or maybe a 980. There'd be slightly different, but the big FPS difference is gonna be your processor in this game. So keep that in mind if you guys are trying to build a PC to be able to run DayZ on max settings. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.
Sounds like it would be entertaining.
It is.
Just killed one.
Okay, this one.
He's upstairs.
These guys had a bunch of car parts and stuff.
Oh, he's in here. He's dead.
Step back, step back, step back.
He's dead.
All of them are
Yeah,
dead?
they're